At some point, I was already singing, "We are handing over, handing over." More energy, more action. If this whole Lagos stress, this whole Lagos hustle and bustle, the madness in this place is too much. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary J. I figured that in my previous videos I didn't used to introduce myself, but I think this is a thing. So yes, my name is Mary J, and on this channel I talk about product management, skincare, career development, personal development, faith, and anything I find interesting. So if you find any of this interesting, please hit the subscribe button and turn on push notifications so that you can see my videos when I drop them. Today's video is going to be about my recent trip to Ibadan, IITA. I already have the vlog up, so if you haven't watched it, you can go back and watch the video. I'll be walking you through my journey, how I got there, how the experience was while I was there, and all of the things that I did while I was there, and all of the things that you can also do if you want to go to IITA. So let's get into the video. If you're like me and you like a place that is very peaceful, a place that is serene, that you just want to give this whole Lagos stress, this whole Lagos hustle and bustle, and you just want a place to just stay for a bit, then let me just tell you, go to IITA, because that place is very, like, first off, immediately I landed in Ibadan, it was just peaceful. Like, the clouds were different, the air was different. I could tell that I had left the whole Lagos nonsense. Lagos people would drag me, but the madness in this place is too much. Anyways, I could tell that I had left that and I was going to a place of serenity. So really, if you want to experience that, then I would recommend that you go to IITA in Ibadan. So I am going to be giving a breakdown of my trip and the different things. So I went on a Friday and I came back to Lagos on a Monday. I went by train, and just so I'm able to give like as much detail as possible, I'm going to be doing this with my laptop so that I can, like, I took some notes down while I was on the trip so that I don't forget anything, and I'm able to like share as much as possible so that you guys are able to get as much information as you need in case you need to go on the trip. So before I bring my co-host to my laptop, I want to say that I had booked for the rooms in IITA a while back. So I think I went in July. I had booked for the trip since May or June, I think. May or June. Because the prices were changing. I can remember a friend of mine even telling me that when I sent her the prices that they had sent to me when I requested for um the price list, when I sent it to her, she was like, this is like 20K more than they paid. So I just figured that, oh, it's just right, it's the right time for me to just book this trip now. So I had booked the trip, I think, a month or 2 months before. Mind you, I have been planning this trip for the longest time, and even when I was planning it, it wasn't this expensive, so I don't really know. Obviously Nigeria happened and everything became crazy expensive, so that happened. Anyways, I was finally able to book the trip and book some time off work, and I was able to go on that trip. I'm going to be putting the email that I used to book the trip in the description, just in case you want to also do that. You can reach out to them if you want to book your own trip as well. Like, if you want to book the rooms that you want to stay at. To be honest, you can even go to Ibadan for a day trip without even going to the IITA place. But I wanted to stay over, so obviously I booked like rooms, and it was 3 nights, 4 days. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, checked out on Monday. I'm going to talk about the check-in and all of that when I get to that point, but let's start with transportation. Also, my train vlog is also up, so you can also go and watch that to see how the train was and like how the experience was. But I'm going to also be talking about that. So let me bring my co-host. People should be clapping for my co-host. Let me bring my co-host my laptop so that we can get right into the video. So let's talk about the journey getting there. I went via the Lagos Ibadan train. I had booked my train tickets a day before. So on their websites, the train website, you cannot book for like I think you can only book 2 days before your intended trip. So I booked a day before, and there's three classes. There's the economy, there's business class, and there's first class. I booked the business class, but there's economy, and I think it's almost the same thing. Economy just has a lot more people, and first class has like a very small capacity. I think it's just one coach, and there's like a lot more space. If you're somebody that doesn't like to see plenty people or stay with plenty people, then first class is for you. I think they have their rows are like two on the left, and then one on the right. So I just glanced into first class for a bit. I didn't really stay there, so but like it's a lot smaller, and it's always sold out faster than the rest, obviously because it's smaller. So if you want to book it, I think you should do that 2 days before. For business class, there's two seats on each row, and I think business class is just like the middle. I think business class has two coaches, but it's just the middleman. And you would enjoy it if you're going with like friends, if you're going with your partner or stuff like that. Then for economy, I know economy has 3 seats on one side and 2 seats on the other side. So you just have to figure out the one that works for you and order it. I'll be also be putting the prices. I think economy is 3,500, business class was 6,500, and then first class was 9,000. I don't know if the prices would have changed by the time this video goes up, or if like when you're watching the prices would have changed, but I'm going to put the prices as at when I booked it in the description. Also where I booked it, that's the website, so that you can just go there straight away. You don't have to stress yourself. So I'm going to talk about my train experience. This was the first time that I was on a train. It was the first, I think it was even no, it wasn't the first time I was seeing a train. No, I've seen a train like just passing by and all of that, but it was the first time I was on a train, and it was a really nice experience. So I had booked the morning train. So they have morning and evening. I think the morning one is 7, it moves by 7:55. It starts moving by 7:55 actually. We were already boarding as at 7:30. So if I don't go meeting up with the train, you don't want to be late, to be honest. So I would recommend that you are there at least 30 minutes an hour before the time you have to leave, because by the time, so I went from like the Alagomeji train station. There are other train stations on the way, because while we're going, they had to like pick people on the way as well. But I would recommend that you come early so that you are able to, because there's a part where they'll check your bag, so that you don't rush, you don't miss things and all of that. And it's relatively easy to enter. That's the Alagomeji train station. I don't know about the other train stations. I'll just be speaking about the one I experienced. Relatively easy to get in. So at the gate here in Lagos, you don't need to show your ID card. I don't know if this will change, but when I went on my trip, I didn't have to show any ID card in Lagos, and I just showed them my ticket. So since my ticket was purchased online, I just showed them the QR code, and they let me in and checks my bag. There's a ticketing booth, and you can buy your tickets physically, but I would recommend that you buy it online. Really, it's a lot less stress if you buy it online. Then they would like check your bag on that. I don't know what it's called. There's that stuff that they usually use at the airports. They'll check your bag there, and then you take your bag, and then you go upstairs to the waiting room. Before you even enter the waiting room in here in Lagos, the reason why I'm saying here in Lagos is because there was slight differences with my experience coming back from Ibadan. I'm going to speak to that at the end. So here in Lagos, when you get upstairs, by the time you get there, the security man will ask you, what ticket type do you have? So there's a sitting area for business class, there's a sitting area for first class, and there's a sitting area for those that are in economy. So yeah, that happened. And I got there around I think I got there around past 7, and by 7:30 we're already boarding. So from the boarding place, because we went up, we had to like come down, obviously, for you to get to the train part. So at the entrance of the train, you would see like some officials asking you for your ticket, so that they would tell you what coach you're going to be in. So when I was going, I was in coach 3. They just direct you to the coach, and you just basically take your luggage with you. When I entered the train, it was really nice. the train is cold, so I would recommend that you wear like, something that would cover you, or you can carry like a hoodie so that you are not so cold, because I was really cold. I wore a short, but thankfully I had like a cover, like a jacket kind of thing that helps me. So I would recommend that you wear something that is for a cold environment. The train is also really spacious. There's a charging port there on the train. There's a toilet. There's also snacks. The toilet, let me even tell you about my toilet experience. So when I used the toilet, because it was really cold, and I noticed that when it's really cold, I tend to pee a lot because I'm not sweating as much as I would. So when I went to pee, I lost the footage that I took of the toilet. I would have shown that. But when I went to pee, I was looking for the flusher behind. You know the way WCs are now. I was looking for the flusher behind, and apparently the flusher was not there. So I had to now start looking until I eventually found the flusher, where it was one tiny thing by the on the left. Yes, one tiny thing on the left. So, but yeah, the toilet was also clean. There's also like a place to obviously wash your hands on the train, inside the toilet, even outside the toilet. There's also like a small space where you can keep your bag. I know first class people had that. I think we also had that. I don't know if it's going to be the same for economy. There's enough space for you to spread your legs. Obviously, not spread your legs. There's also specific seats that have a table in the business class, both the coach 2 and coach 3. It is seat number 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So seats number 21 to 28 have tables, but the other seats don't. But they have like an adjustable table that you can use. Also, you can take a book on the ride because the network is not so great. MTN is actually not everywhere you go. The network is not so great, so you can take a book on the ride. You can also download movies that you watch on the ride if you are alone, or you can take like a game. That's why you need that table seat, because it will make sense if you guys are in a group and like you guys are enjoying that table seat. But you can take games, just something to keep you busy during the trip, or you can honestly just sleep, honestly, because anything sha. But just know that the internet is really really spotty. I couldn't do any work. I thought I would be able to at least do one or two editings, but I couldn't because the internet was really bad. So yeah, just a side note. So we made several stops on the way to pick people and also to drop people off. And like I said earlier, by 7:55, the train was already moving, so that by 8 o'clock, obviously they have to meet a particular time. What's this thing that is flying, for God's sakes? They have to meet up with a particular time. So we started moving by 7:55. By 8 o'clock, we're already on the way. There were, I think, the stops ahead, Agege, Agbado, they picked people on the way from there. Even before we got to Ibadan, I think there were like 4 stops also before we got to Ibadan. So there's snacks and food on board, but I would not recommend that you buy it because the meat pie that we bought was pretty subpar. Gel. The meat pie no sweet. And I don't know about the rice. There was rice on board, but I don't know about the rice. But to be honest, I would just say either you eat before you go, or you you actually hold your snacks. Don't buy. I would not recommend buying the one that they have on board. The trip took it took roughly about 3 hours. So between 7:55 to 10:45 ish. I think I got to Ibadan around 10:45, and it was a really good trip. Like, it was a really nice trip. I would really recommend you going on the train. I don't think that I have any reservations. And also, during the trip, they would ask you for your tickets. So always have that in hand. So I think I should finish talking about the train experience. So coming back to Lagos, the train experience was slightly different. So we took the afternoon train when I was coming back to Lagos. We took the morning train when I was going, took the afternoon train when I was coming back because of checkouts and all of that. So the train experience was slightly different in that from the entrance, they asked for an ID. So if you book a trip for like more than one person, obviously, like if you guys are two or if you guys are four or the likes, they will require you to have at least one ID. So one person has to show an ID and that one person will cover for the rest of the team. I don't know if it was because it was in the morning, that's why they didn't ask for it in Lagos, but they didn't ask for my ID in Lagos, but they asked for it in when I was coming back from Ibadan to Lagos. Also, the waiting area in Lagos is larger than the waiting area in Ibadan. Um, the experience is also different. The experience is also slightly there's not much difference in the experience, to be honest, because just the waiting area that is different. Then there's also the check. Like after they ask you for your ID at the entrance, they will check your ticket. After checking your ticket, they will ask you to put your bag on the checker thing. I don't know the name. Your bag will pass through and you pick it up at the other side, and then you go and wait for the train. So once the train arrives, or once it's time for the train to start moving, once it's time for people to start boarding, they will let you know. On coming back, um I booked coach 2, and apparently I didn't even know. I thought coach 1 and 2 were both first class, but apparently it's just one coach that is first class. Coach 2 and 3 is business class. Coach 4 and 5 will now be economy. But yeah, overall the train experience was really great. I really recommend it if you want to go on a day trip, if you want to like just chill, just like enjoy. Yeah, you can do that. It's really nice, and you can also even use economy. You honestly don't even need to use business class. I just wanted to, like upgrade, like feel among. If I cannot afford airline tickets, at least I can afford business class train tickets, and I will use that one. Abi, one thing must go. I must shall arrive one way or another. So yeah, um that's it about the train part, which is the transportation part. If you have any questions about that one, you can let me know. I will obviously be in the comments and I'll be answering them. Now is also a good time for you to subscribe if you haven't, and turn on your push notification if you haven't, so that you can enjoy more of my videos. So I'm going to go into the IITA experience now and talk about my experience there. So for the ride from the train station to IITA itself, it took about 30 minutes, but we had to stop on the way to get snacks, especially because the room that we got was not one of the rooms that had a kitchen. So, because I wasn't planning on cooking on this trip, I just wanted to rest. So, we had to get snacks on the way, like while we were going. So, it took about 30 minutes to get to IITA from the train. We had a cab driver, so we had already gotten a cab beforehand. I can drop his contact for those that need it, but I just want to state that my experience with him might be different from your experience with him, but I had a good experience with him, which is why I am willing to say if you need his number, you can let me know in the comments and I will drop it. But I don't want to just put it out there without an actual need for it. But yeah, the ride from the train station to IITA was about 8,000. It took about 30 minutes, which I said earlier. Also, these prices, like I said, are based on the now. Obviously, with the way things are going, it might change. So you just have to find a way to price it. So for the reservations for IITA, they have different prices and different days. And obviously, there's these things are subject to change. So just have that at the back of your mind. The room prices include breakfast for the number of people that are supposed to stay in the room, and each room has a particular number of people that can stay there. So if you are going to be getting more people, or if there's going to be more people in that room, you'll be paying higher for it. But they have like their policies. When you reach out to them, you find out they also have it like on the information stuff that they will send to you when you are requesting for it. They have rooms that have kitchen, they have rooms that do not have kitchen. Check-in is at 3 p.m., but I arrived there before 3 p.m. and I was allowed to go in. So the cab driver that took us there was somebody that knew the terrain, like he already takes people there, like he knows where we're going to. So he just took us there, and then by the time we got to the entrance. So the way it is when you get to the entrance, you first park at the entrance. It's a very big compound. If you watch my vlog, you understand what I'm saying. It's a very big compound. There's an entrance part where you would go in to do your first level checks at the reception. Once you go in, you tell them about your reservation, and they'll give you a tag that you can use to pass the security. So that tag lets you into the, I think it's a conference tag, lets you into the building. Once you're done with that part, the next part is, if you have a laptop, they will ask you to check it in just for security purpose. So they would ask you to check in your laptop just in case, just for security purpose. But I'm very sure that some people don't say that they have laptops, but I think it's more for your good than theirs. So you let them know if you have a laptop, you check it in. When you're leaving, you check it out. Then from there, there's now a long drive to the main reception inside the house, inside like the residential area, inside where it's happening, gongon. There's a long drive of green trees, and the compound is really neat. And I must commend them for that. The compound is really, really neat. So when we go to the entrance, there's like a form that you're going to fill. You give them your details, you show them your ID card, give them your address and all of that. They will ask for all of the information, obviously, just to be sure that you're the one that just to be sure about your reservation, and you are who you say you are. And then they'll give you like a paper, a form to fill, and then once that is done, they'll give you your key card, and that's what you'll be using to enter. So my room was in, I think, the administrative block. I don't even know what they are called, but it's like I house, the international house. That was where my room was. It was just very easy. So from the reception, you basically just go in. While I was on the trip, I met one of my friends that was staying in another apartment. That's how I even knew that they had like other houses. But I stayed at international house, and there's like it's like by the reception, so very easy to just go upstairs to your room. So now let's talk about the rooms. The room where I stayed was really nice. I love the balcony. When they built the building, it was like really broad. So all the rooms have like a balcony. So my room was overseeing the lawn tennis part. And like you can see, if you come outside, it's just, oh, it's just sweet. It's just like sweet peace. Honestly, if you come outside, like you're seeing green, and you know all those birds chirping. If you watch my vlog, you know what I'm talking about. All those birds chirping that you hear, that you only hear maybe when you're in the village, or when you're in a place that has like really good vegetation, or if you stay around a place that has trees, all those things you'll be hearing it. You will even be hearing. I even saw frog while I was there. I saw frog. So my room was overlooking like the lawn tennis and like a lot of green trees, a lot of greenery, and it was just so soothing. The room was big, the shower lovely. I enjoyed the shower. There are hot water available. If you are somebody that does not, if you're somebody that is not usually comfortable in a place where there is no hot water, they have hot water, and their shower is really nice. The shower in my room was really nice. One of the things I liked about the place is that they had notifications, inscriptions everywhere just to tell you, so that you don't have to keep calling the reception for different things, and even across the environment, across the compound, so that you know like where you are, you know what you're supposed to do at this place, you know places that are out of bounds and all of that, and then you know to run the shower. You don't have to call them to run the shower. A couple of my videos that I shot there was really nice. I did one very unconventional lighting thing that I used. It was just really nice. I keep saying it was really nice because I was really looking forward to experiencing that, and it was really nice that I got to do that. Do you get me? Do you get me? When I got there on Friday. We got there before 3, and we were able to check in because the rooms were already available by that time, which was really lovely. I didn't have to wait till 3 p.m., which I was thinking that I was going to do, but I didn't have to wait till 3 p.m. to be let into my room. So once I was settled in, the first thing I did on that day one was to go for lunch. When I went for lunch, I had like a culture shock because their lunch portions was really nice. So I used the restaurant downstairs. They have like a restaurant. I think that was where we ate throughout the stay at that spot. That was where we ate, except breakfast, where we had to eat at their breakfast spot. And the portions really great. If you want spicy food, you have to categorically tell them that you want spicy food. The chicken wings, I like chicken. So the chicken wings was just really lovely. It was big, it wasn't like the normal thing. The food just tasted like it was grown there. It just tasted different. We had a whole spread, and because we thought it was going to be small, like the portions were going to be small. So we didn't know that they had like reasonable portions. And also the prices that are on their menu are not the actual prices. At the restaurant, there's a particular person that we're always looking out for, and it's because he was really warm on the first, like he was the person that attended to us for the first time that we got there. He was really warm, so we're always looking for him. Mr. Toba, his name is Mr. Toba. He's the one for you. He's going to explain to you, let you know what is applicable there and what is not. In terms of restaurants, it can help you get what you actually need. And then after lunch, just went on a walk. And one thing that I did like throughout my stay there was after every meal, I was able to take a walk. I think that's how the Italians stay in shape. So all the food that I ate did not really, scatter anything because I took a walk after every meal. The ability to take a walk just after a meal was just very welcoming. Two, which was a Saturday, started the day with breakfast. Their breakfast is a buffet style breakfast, only that you have to be served. Like you're not serving yourself, someone will serve you. They had juice, they had water, they had tea, they had like different things. They had pancakes, they had yam and egg, they had rice, they had different things. Again, all of this is from my experience. There's every possibility that when you go there, things might change slightly. So just have that at the back of your mind. There's a meal ticket. So when you come, the first thing is to get a meal ticket from the reception before you go to get your meal, because they will ask you for your meal ticket when you get there. That's also one of the reasons why they need to know how many people are staying in the room so that they can give you a meal ticket for the number of people that are in the room. Breakfast was like really nice. You can take anything you want, just let them know. On part of my day two experience was the forest walk. So the forest walk was really eye-opening. Also, I almost missed that walk. So the plan wasn't to do the forest walk on that day. The plan was to do it on another day. But when we went to the reception to find out like the activities that are applicable there, which I will talk about in the course of this video, that's when we found out that, oh, there's a group already, like there's a group that is already going for forest walk. And for that kind of thing, it's always nice to go in a group. And the forest walk was about 4,000. I'm going to put up an image of the activities that you can do and their prices, the ones that you can do for free. I'm going to let you guys know like in the course of this video, and I'll also put up like a screenshot here so that you can see it somewhere here when I'm editing. Yeah, so the first walk was really eye-opening. I figured out how much like we had in nature to heal ourselves. The forest was about 350 hectares, and I think the walk was for 2 hours. At some point I was already singing, we are handing over, handing over. If you even watch the vlog, you will see some parts I was doing more energy, more action. I was already tired at this point. That's why I was doing all of that. So you can only imagine like me getting to that point. For something that I almost missed, that I almost didn't make, I had so much fun. But my choice of clothing was not appropriate. If you're going for this walk, I would recommend that you wear like a shirt that can cover at least maybe some parts of your body, and then wear sneakers, obviously not white sneakers, because there were insects on the way. You'll be passing trees, you don't want to get scratches. To be fair, there's no mosquito. I don't think I experienced any mosquito there, but I think there were insects, and at some point I had bites on my body. I don't even know whether it was from there or it was from somewhere else, but I would just recommend that you should wear appropriate clothing when you are going on this forest walk. I remember when we were in school and we were told to go and pick leaves for botany. It just reminded me, while I was in the forest, it just reminded me of that kind of experience. And I think that forest would have been a good place for us to go and find those leaves for those that remember doing botany in Unilag. Is if you like learning about plants, if you like understanding how nature can heal you and all of that, it's a good experience. After the forest walk, after we finished the forest walk, there were some leaves that he told us about that we wanted to buy. So we now had to go to the, I don't know what it's called, whether it's the garden or so. I think it's in my vlog. We now had to go to like another place to go and get the leaves. There were different types of leaves. There was the one that was called miracle leaf. That's the one I got. There was mint. There were different types. It just depends on the one that you want to get and the one that you fancy, to be honest. All in all, it was a very good experience. And once we were back from the forest walk, the next bit was to go to Amala Sky. So we just had to like freshen up, sit in a little before we went to Amala Sky. The journey from IITA to Amala Sky was about 35 minutes, but coming back it was shorter than that. So I think going took a lot more time. There was like slight traffic and all of that. It was also one of the places I wanted to go to. I think the next time I am in Ibadan, or if I next time I'm in IITA, I'll probably not go out since I've already experienced this. But it was one of the places I wanted to go to. I like Amala, so it makes sense for me to try it in Amala Sky for the first time, if I do say so. The way it is structured there is so funny. So, well, is it really? I don't think funny is the word. I think the way it's structured is just it's just great. So immediately you enter the place, immediately you enter the vicinity, you are literally seeing amala or pounded yam or whatever, like the people that turning the amala, turning the pounded yam, you're literally seeing them by your left. I mean by your right, sorry. By your right. So the way it goes is from the amala, you are moving up to the soup place. The soup people are the ones that will give you your soup, your meat, and whatever. And then they'll take you to where you would pay once you're done buying your food. But I think one thing that stood out for me was the fact that once we were done buying the amala, by the time we got to the place where we're supposed to pay for food, the guy already calculated the money, and the calculation that he made was very correct. And we're like, how come? How did you note this? And then, but I think after we now recalculated, it was just like, well, it wasn't very correct. It was almost on point. Do you get? And then by the time we did the recalculation, added water and all of that, the calculation was not so far. And I don't know because he wasn't following us from the beginning. Like he didn't know how many amalas we got or what we got in our food, but for some reason he was able to calculate. I don't even know, maybe somebody called out the amount to him or something. But yeah, once we got, so I got amala, and the country is so bad that the amala I used to eat before, that is not the size. One amala, two amala cannot reach somebody again. Ha! It's sad though. It's very sad. But anyways, I got amala, then I got goat's meat, I got more meat and all of that, then water. Found a place to sit there. They have a wash basin, and I think because it's a place that people go to a lot. They even have marketing stuff, like people do adverts there. Like there's a changing signboard for adverts, which is really cool, I think. But the place is always packed. Place is always packed. So it's like as you're standing up, someone else is taking your seat. As you're standing up, someone else is taking your seat. But it was an overall good experience. I think the amala is just the normal amala, like the normal amala we eat. To be fair, I've had worse, but this one wasn't bad. And I think it was just there. It was just okay. It was just, oh, okay. This is amala. I've eaten amala and I've experienced it. I think that was just it. And then we got back to IT, and that trip was 10,000 naira going and coming, which I felt was a lot. But yeah, it is what it is. I went in. I don't think we did anything that day after Amala Sky. Yeah. And I saw UI, the front gate, the back gate, it just reminded me of it. Like even though it's on the same line, it wasn't on different lines. But yeah, it was a good day. Day two was really packed, which was Saturday. It was really packed. And I think I liked that I did most of what I needed to do on that day. So now let's go on to day three, which is a Sunday, or which was a Sunday. Anyone? So this was the day when a lot of people were going to check out. Most people that came on Friday, they were going to check out on Sunday. So we had breakfast with my friend. So it was like a really great experience. We talked about different things. It was really cool. I think that was one of the longest breakfasts that I had while I was there because we were just talking. So after breakfast, we took a walk. And then on the walk, I was able to a couple of things. I even forgot to state that on day two, I also did like some sightseeing. I went to the golf course, but I didn't do golf. I went to the golf course. I did like a campus walk also. Made took some pictures, made some videos, and yeah, like it was just really nice because I had on a very flowy dress and I really wanted to use that to do like jajarija. It wasn't jajarija I did, but I wanted to use it to do like all of these aesthetically pleasing videos, and that was like one of the things I did after we came back from the Amala place. So yeah, that's it for day two. So after breakfast, we went to find the swing. So in there's a swing set in the spot for like kids. So I went on the swing. It was really nice, but obviously I'm scared of heights, so I can't really go far. But it was really nice. Then I still went to check out like the lawn tennis courts. I couldn't play because I can't play lawn tennis, so I couldn't play. Then I don't think afterwards we just had afterwards I had dinner and that was it. So for day three, after we had breakfast, took a walk. Um, so like I said earlier, a couple of people were already checking out. Then then I went to check out the swing, enjoyed the whole scenery, just took a walk, just explored the place, went around again, and afterwards I went back inside. And when I went back inside, after I rested a little, I had a couple of videos that I wanted to shoot because I wanted like a different background from my normal background. So I had a couple of videos that I wanted to shoot. I shot them. And then after shooting the videos, I shot them and it seemed like I shot them for like a short time, but I used most of the afternoon into the evening to shoot them. And then once I was done with that, in the evening, went for dinner and took a walk after dinner. The walks after eating were so nice. So yeah, that was it for day three. Yeah, I think day two was one of my most packed days. Like day two was the packed day. Then day four was Monday, which was the day that I was supposed to check out, and check out was for 12. So in the morning, the first thing we did, went downstairs, breakfast. After breakfast, took a walk. And then while I was taking a walk, it was raining. And mind you, since Friday, I have not gone into the pool because for the times when I wanted to use it, I had like a couple of pictures or videos I wanted to take at the pool. Time when I wanted to use it, a lot of people were there, so I couldn't go. Then Monday, which was my last day, which I wanted to now use the place, it was raining in the morning after breakfast. And I'm like, bruh, why? Who did I offend? Who did I offend? And I just went back in to dress up, to pack up so that I don't have to pay a late fee because I'm not about to pay a late fee. And we're going with the afternoon train, obviously, but I'm not about to pay a late fee. So I went dressed up, packed my stuff so that even if like what anything changes, at least I'm packed to move. So while I was packing and while I was trying to get ready, the rain reduced. So it was a good opportunity for me to now go to the pool. So thankfully, I was able to go to the pool and the pool was really cold. And while I was at the pool, it was already drizzling, but the pool was really cold. And but it was really nice. And while I was there, I reminded myself that I needed to learn how to swim. I need to learn that thing. Like I start and I stop, I start and I stop. And I would be a good swimmer if I do say so myself. I would be a good swimmer. And I was seeing like people diving because there's a dive board and all of that. And I was just feeling bad because Michael Phelps is supposed to be shaking. But yeah. So thankfully I was able to at least enter the water. I took the pictures I wanted to take, even though the water was really cold, the weather was cold, but I was able to do what I wanted to do before 12. Hmm. I can time manage. Like it was when I was doing this that I knew that I could actually time manage within that small time. And yeah, I was able to finish all of that. I went back upstairs. I think I spent about 30, less than 30 minutes at the pool, to be honest. And I went back upstairs to pack up. And our train was for 4, but checkout was for 12. So we had to check out and then waited in the lobby. They have like a place where you can drop your bags for, since if you're waiting, they have a place where you can drop your bags. So we're able to like drop bags there and then go in. So we went for lunch while we waited for time to pass because that was the plan. We didn't want to go to the go and wait at the train station. So we just had to have lunch before going to the train station. And eventually we left the house by like 2 or 3 or 2 3, I think. And the ride back to the station didn't take long. I think it took about, I think it didn't take as long as I don't think it took up to 30 minutes. I think it was like 20 minutes or so for the ride back. But overall it was a very good experience. I would recommend it. And I think it's going to even be a continuous thing for me, to be honest. I just need to get my money up. Get my money up. Get my money up. So yeah, I would recommend it to anyone that likes peace, anyone that likes like serenity. It was a very, very good experience. So now for their activities, they have a couple of things that are complimentary and they have a couple of things that are paid for. So if you reach out to them to make inquiry about it, they'll give you like a list of things. So there's golf course, there's darts, there's snooker, there's table tennis, there's lawn tennis, there's campus walk, there's children and adult swimming. All of those are complementary activities. Then for the paid activities, there's cycling, there's forest walk, there's fishing. You're supposed to bring your fishing equipment if you're coming for fishing, but they need to be telling people these things beforehand. There's bird watching, there's gym session, group aerobics, in-room massage session, there's camping, and there's picnic options. Picnic was not available around the time when I was there, so I couldn't, because I really wanted to experience the picnic, but I couldn't because picnic was not available. But it was a very, very good experience, and like I said, I would recommend it to anybody that want to go to IITA. If you've watched to this point, you're a superstar. Don't forget to subscribe, to like this video, comment your questions or your inquiries, or you can even tell me about your experience when you went to IITA, and we can like bond over like similar experiences and all of that. But if you have any questions, if you want to know more, if there's anything that I didn't touch on, you can ask me in the comment section and I will be in the comment section to answer. I hope you enjoyed this video because I did enjoy making it. I think I like talking about my experiences. Yes, which is why I started this YouTube channel, if you think about it. But yeah, it is what it is. Thank you guys for watching till this point. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Toodaloo.